the meeting officially. Before we get going, does anybody got anything interesting going on that they might want to share? All right.
I'm not sure. I may have something.
What's going on? How you doing, Louie?
I'm doing fine. Um, I spoke with Audrey at AARP,
Oh,
and she's working with an architect in the county close by on the living communities. And she wanted to hook me up with him
oh, nice.
for, the home modifications and more or less universal design. So that might turn into something really interesting.
I bet that does. Keep us updated on that, and even just how that project goes. I don't know a whole lot about those communities.
They're pretty interesting. They really are. It's not, the 55 plus. It's a whole community,
Oh,
but
nice.
it's designed in such a way that you have the wider sidewalks and zero threshold homes, and so it's designed for everybody. So it's like the universal design concept.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I was looking into something like that around Chicago. I haven't found anything quite like that, but I've been looking for it for the field trip. We're going to be
Uh-huh.
going on Wednesday, April 6th, and we're going to be going to everyone I hope everyone here can make it. I know that's a long ways to Chicago, but we're going to be going to Frank Lloyd Wright's house. It's a 2-hour bus trip there. So on the way there, we're going to be doing either doing like some home modifications or home evaluation presentations, or home automation presentations. I was thinking of having one of the home automation companies come and present on the way there. And then I was also thinking of maybe having a marketing firm present on the way back. So interesting stuff. Plus, if we wanted to, we could also meet other days during the conference to work on specific things. It'd be a great time for everyone just to be able to focus on their businesses and, work on getting them to the next level. So I'll keep you updated on that. I was hoping to have that
Okay,
nailed down by today, but it hasn't been completely done. Got other things going.
understand that.
Well, why don't we get going then on the distributorships, products and equipments as other sources of income? I think everybody should be um, doing this, having distributorships and selling products, because you can't just make money on the evaluations. There's not enough to go around on that. But the thing is, I'm going to be presenting based on my own experience and research that I've done. I've been doing it for 10 years now. Well, it'll be 10 years in March. Um, but does anybody else have distributorships, or are they selling products at all? Anybody else have experience with this? Because I really think, everybody who's doing this sort of thing has different experiences. So anybody who's got any experience, please chime in. Nobody?
Nope.
Okay. Hey, Louie, would you
I
watch
know
the
there's
for me? Go ahead.
I was going to say there's a couple of products that I see that I would love to get a distributorship for. So, but I'm just not sure how to go about it. So that's why I'm very anxious to, learn a lot tonight.
Yeah, what products are they?
There's an automatic pet door. We have one.
Uh-huh.
And there's a little radio collar you put on your pet's collar, and they can go in and out at will, and you don't have to get up and do anything.
Ooh, that's really nice.
And I think, that's a great thing for, older people because getting up and down to let the dog in and out gets to be a nuisance.
Well, yeah. And I would think sometimes
So
people just can't do it.
true. And the nice thing about this pet door is when it shuts, it can't be opened by anything else other than the dog with the collar.
Ooh.
So you won't have, possums and raccoons and whatnot like that. Or I heard somebody say alligators. When they lived in Florida, an alligator came in through their pet door.
I can't even imagine.
I don't want to. But anyway, so that's one product I really, really want to get a distributorship for.
Nice. Well, let's get going. And again, anybody has any questions, please share, or any experiences. And again, this is based on my experience. Everybody's got their own things going. Um, so basically, you got to find products you want to sell. And for us, or for me, I should say, it's got to be something that goes along with your business. And the thing about occupational therapists is, we know a lot of the different products out there, and if we can find something that's beautiful and that's unique, that's a bonus. There's always the adaptive equipment like the bath transfer benches, um, grab bars, regular grab bars. I don't like regular grab bars. I don't. I We do those, but only when we have to. Um, And then there's the home fixtures like the faucets and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to tell you what my business um, design is. And it's real similar to what we were talking about, what I'm trying to work out with that construction company. But basically, every job that we do, um, like for instance, we're doing an addition right now. I could show you the addition real quick that we're doing. Um, And this was one that I was lucky enough to be a part of design. I did the main design for it. So this is the addition we're doing. Um, I'm the builder who's doing this is providing everything for the house, all the materials. I am supplying the appliances because this guy's in a wheelchair. I don't want the builder going out and choosing some whatever his idea of an accessible refrigerator is. I'm supplying the cabinetry. The cabinetry is for this one. It's a real simple design. There's a sink, and then there's a countertop, and then there's a pantry, like a pantry, and that's right over here. And so here's the refrigerator, here's the sink, and then there's going to be a pantry here with a pull-out shelf, and then pull-out base cabinets over on this side. And so the sink's going to be a roll under sink. That's specific. That needs to be 7 inches or less. The basin depth needs to be, and it needs to be plumbed at the back if the wheelchair is going to roll under it. The cabinetry itself needs to be 36 inches right here of space. And then I also want the faucet to have a pull-out spigot. So there's certain things that are important for me. So I've got some different distributorships with different plumbing companies, but I find that those sorts of distributorships really aren't, they don't give you very good deals. You can get a better deal on Amazon. So I usually end up actually ordering off Amazon because it's cheaper than the distributorships I have, and it's all cheaper, and it's usually cheaper than retail. Um, so that's what I've been doing with the sinks and the faucets. But cabinetry is different. There's different, there's Lowe's, but then if you work with specific cabinetry companies or cabinet dealers, that's where you're going to get the really interesting handicap accessible stuff. And sometimes you have to have it made custom. And the nice thing about that is those cabinet dealers, they'll work with you. I usually get my cabinets at 45% off retail, which is nice because I charge retail. And that other 45% I get to keep. So if I do a kitchen and the cabinets are, I don't know, 15,000, I get 45% of that. So it's a really nice way to go. Um, and so like for this, it's got the kitchen cabinets right here, and then we've got the bathroom cabinets right here. All of this I'm going to be charging retail, and in getting wholesale. Or it's not really wholesale. I'm going to be getting it through a dealer who's going to give me 45% of the take on it. So that's a really nice way to go. Um, and I think the best way to set something like that up is to get the job and then call the cabinet makers. That's what I do. I get the job, then I call the cabinet makers and say, hey, I need cabinets. And then we just sort of, and I tell them who I am and what I'm doing. And we come to an agreement. And they're real hungry to work with us. And I don't know how interior designers, I don't know what their business plan is, but I suspect this is how they make their money, is off the fixtures as well. The other thing, like for this particular project that I'm going to be making money off of, is the flooring. I'm very specific as far as what kind of flooring I want, because I need it to be, this is a corner shower. The shower's right here. It's not in the right spot. But this is a corner shower, and so it's completely it's a barrier-free shower. So I need this whole entire area to be water resistant. So I need water resistant flooring, and I need it to go 6 inches up the wall. But the other thing I need with the flooring is I need it to be skid resistant. And according to ADA specifications, skid resistant flooring would be zero point 0.6 skid resistant rating or above, which is nice, but it still gets slippery. So what I really push, so I've got a specific flooring I like. I like Eltro Aquarius. I like all the Eltro products. And I did a lot of research for the Eltro products. I basically did it online, and I was calling all these different flooring companies asking for samples. And so, I got the samples. This is the one I liked. The skid resistance zero point 0.8 and above. Um, and what I do with this is I have a dealership with the flooring company. So again, I get the flooring for less than retail. And then they tell me who their installers are in the area, because there's very specific ways to install this. It needs to be cold welded, and not everybody can do that. And if you don't cold weld it right, it doesn't look good. So I only want to use installers that know what they're doing. So usually, like if I have a job in, say, Bay City, Michigan, I'll call the Eltro Aquarius dealer. His name's Wayne. We've got a good relationship. I'll say, hey, Wayne, I need this kind of flooring, or I need the Eltro Aquarius samples sent to this homeowner. So he'll send them the samples. And then they choose what kind of flooring they want. And then I ask Wayne, I need an installer. So he tells me what installer is over there, which is an independent installer. And the installer goes out and gives me a price for what they have to, they give me the price for installing. Wayne gives me the price for the materials, and so that's what I provide. Um, for one small floor, one time when I first started, he told me just to go. I was just going to go through a flooring company. They were going to charge me something like $900 to install it, but that was killing my profits. I felt like it was too high. So that's when I started getting my own installers for the flooring. So I called Wayne. I was like, Wayne, I need an installer over here. The installer he sent me was $300. So I got to keep that $600. So it works really well to have people that you're working with, and ways to install, ways to I mean, it's just another way to make money. And that's what we're in business for, is to make money. Um, I'm not I'm not shy about that at all. That's what I'm doing this for. And I think sometimes people don't feel good about that, but I feel like anytime I'm taking time away from my family, I need to be paid for it. But that's a whole other story. So anyway, um, and how you make money with this sort of thing depends on what your business model is. For me, since I own the construction company, it's really nice. I can tell the guys, this is what I want to provide and this is what I don't want to provide. Um, I'm just starting to work with that other building company out of Grand Rapids, where I'm going to be supplying the OT services, but they don't know the fixtures and they don't know the flooring. So I'm also supplying the fixtures and the flooring for them. And it kind of is a little bit nicer. I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out, because, like, for functional homes, it seems like whenever there's a construction project, there's always things that go wrong. And there's always something you have to solve. And sometimes you don't know it at the time, you find out later. but it's kind of exciting to me to just be able to supply the products and not have to deal with the headaches of construction. So, although that's how you learn. But so that's a really nice way to go if you're going to do a business model similar to what I'm setting up for this pilot, where so the audio is getting funny out every now and then. I just saw the chat. Darn. I'll turn down my I just turned my speaker down. That might help. And if everybody, yours is bad too. If everybody could mute their speakers, although it looks like everybody's muted except me. Darn. Well, let me know if it doesn't get any better. Since I'm the only one talking, I don't really obviously hear what's going on. Darn. Let me see if there's anything I can do. It's fine now? Oh, good. I hope it stays okay. Let me know. I don't know what we can do to change it out. So, anyway, I feel like if you want to be, part of selling products is you got to have a crowd to sell it to, or a platform to sell it from. And so that's part of the reason I really encourage anybody, if you're working with the builders, tell them these need to be specific products. I will supply the products. And same with the flooring. Flooring's tricky though. Make sure you get an installer who knows what they're doing. I had to, for some reason, one summer, um, one of my builders installed a laminate floor. It cost $3,000 to install, and he didn't install it properly. And so I had to say, okay, we'll replace your floor for you. And the builder and I were going to split the cost to replace it. And the woman, for some reason, didn't follow through on it, but she was in her rights to ask us to reinstall it because the guy didn't do it right. And that very same summer is when I had gotten the high-end flooring that one of my other builders installed, and that wasn't installed right, and I had to pay, like, that wasn't much. That turned out to only be $350 to fix. So now I don't have anybody do flooring unless they're a professional installer, and I really highly recommend the same for everyone because flooring's got to be done right, and it's expensive if it's done wrong. But anyway, so if you're going to sell stuff, if you're going to be selling stuff, you got to have products to sell. Um, the adaptive equipment's usually pretty easy. If you want to sell adaptive equipment, you just have to find a adaptive equipment supplier in your area. I use Lake Court. They're out of Chicago, and they give me good deals, although Amazon has been cutting prices like crazy. So some of the things I can get off Amazon cheaper than I can get through my distributorships as far as adaptive equipment goes, and same with home fixtures. But see, the thing is I know I feel like, so if I get a home fixture at retail from Amazon, that's usually less than what you can get it in the store for. So I will charge retail for it, like what the retail price is in the store. And if you get it on Amazon, they always say, oh, 40% savings or something like that. And it really is. They're just killing it. But I feel like even if I buy at retail, I always add on to it because the thing is, it's my expertise that are getting it to the client. And that's something I need to be paid for. So there's different people who pay, obviously. Insurance companies, private pay, auto insurance, workman's comp, estates. And by that I mean is if you're going to, for older people, if they're going to go into like a nursing home, they have to do spend downs. And so there's certain things they need to spend their money on, or if they want their adult, if they want to move in with their adult children, or their adult children move into their homes, there's different things they can do as far as taxes that where they need to spend their money, and they can spend it on their home, and that's an approved way to spend it. I don't know a whole lot about that. And then adult children also pay for quite a few products. But really, I think, yeah, I think you need to make sure you find something that's unique, because for adaptive equipment, there's a lot of people in that field that you're gonna be competing against. And let me just write a little thing here on the adaptive equipment. Um, I have a dealership with it's called Lake Court Medical out of Chicago. Um, and they're it's nice. I just email them. They've got my credit card on account, so whenever I need anything, I just send them an email and say I need this or that shipped here or there, and they do that. One thing that when I'm setting up dealerships, I always make sure that they know I want it drop shipped, which means I want it shipped to the location where the job is. I don't want it shipped to me because usually it needs to go to my builder or it needs to go to somebody's house. So sometimes it goes to me, not usually. And then the other thing with adaptive equipment, um, oh, I can't remember what I was going to say with that. The dealership with Lake Court. Oh, um, the thing is with these medical supply companies, Lake Court's a medical supply company. They don't always have what you want. They don't know. They don't carry. I mean, a lot. They carry a lot, but they don't carry everything you need. For instance, I really like Rifton products, and yeah, Lake Court Medical is a It's they're a wholesaler. Um, but they don't have everything I need. And I don't know about everyone else, but as an occupational therapist, I do a lot of pediatrics as well. And so I meet and I work with Medicaid. I do a lot of equipment for Medicaid, which I cannot afford to supply to, but other companies can. So, for instance, in Michigan, there's a company named Wright and Flippus. And so when I need equipment for the Medicaid kids, I do all the paperwork for that. But when I need something for my business, I've got good relationships with these equipment vendors. So I'll just call them. Clay Cole's the one that's I'm working with a lot right now. Zeb Dugan's in Ohio. He's another really good one. Um, but say I needed a Raz shower chair, and I couldn't get that from Lake Court Medical. I called the Raz dealership or the Raz manufacturer, and they won't work with me because I'm too small. And so I just called. I called Zeb actually. I was like, Zeb, I need a shower chair, a Raz shower chair. So he got it for me, got me like a 30% discount, and then I charged retail for it. I think the chair retail was like $1,800, so that was a good deal. Um, and so that's the other thing. If you know vendors in your area, ask them. Tell them I need this. What kind of discount can you give me? Most of the time, they'll give you a discount. Um, and if they won't, I mean, I found out about Lake Court Medical by talking to the vendors. I asked them, where do you get your equipment from? These guys don't own the businesses. They don't really care. They'd like to talk and tell you stories. So, you know, that's a really good way to figure out, to make a relationship and get some discounts. Um, so for what that's worth. So what product you sell depends on who you're billing. If you're going to bill insurance, you got to know the rules for billing insurance, which probably there are a lot of people here who know a whole lot more about that than I do. Um, I know enough of the rules to know I don't like working with insurance. I do some insurance, like health insurance, but I hate it. It takes a lot of time. I find it takes at least 6 months to get paid. There's a lot of back and forth and a lot of denials. I have a medical coder that I use that I just got off of Upwork. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. It's like a virtual assistant sort of thing. Um, and in order to bill insurance, you have to set up accounts with each insurance company. At least that's what I find. Again, this isn't my strong point. I don't know enough about this. And you have to have Medicare numbers quite often to set up the accounts with the insurance companies. A lot of times I bill as an out-of-network provider. So my fees don't get all the way paid, but usually somebody picks that up. Oops. And then, so if you're going to bill, so if you're going to bill private pay, um, what I like, or auto insurance or workman's comp, I like to get money down on big orders, or get the whole thing cash up front. I have a website that I sell on, and I get, that's nice because people just give me their credit cards, they pay for it all up front. But you have to have a unique value proposition. The thing is, like with adaptive equipment, everybody's doing that. That's not interesting and it's not new. It's nice because as OTs, you can talk to you can talk to your clients who are not familiar with it, um, and tell them what they need, and that's a nice way to go. But for the most part, if they're coming out of the hospital or something like that, usually rehab has some sort of vendor that's working with them that supplies it. So it's hard to catch that unless you're doing, again, auto or workman's comp, and they need somebody out of the hospital and they call you and say, we need you to put in a ramp, some grab bars, and we need a bath transfer bench and a handheld shower. That's like a pack we always seem to do together. So you got to be careful with the run-of-the-mill products. There's lots of competition for that. Um, it's easiest to charge for products if they're part of a construction project or very unique that people can't get elsewhere. Um, so, so what a distributorship is this distributors and dealers are people who the distributor usually is a wholesaler who sells to dealers, and usually dealers sell retail. I I took this offline. Um, Basically, you've got the distributorship. There's manufacturers. I should write this out. You've got the manufacturers, and the manufacturers really don't want to deal with too many people. They're the ones who design and build the product, but they don't want to deal with a lot of people. So manufacturers have what they call distribution channels, and or distributors. And the distributors are the ones who have the product and who can market it. A lot of times they'll have warehouses full of the product, and they're looking for somebody to take it off their hands, and that's who you get the dealerships with, or the distributors. Usually, sometimes you can do it with the manufacturers, but you get dealerships with the distributors. And one thing you can do too, and I hope this is making sense to people. For instance, and there's different ways to do things. I don't know if anybody's heard of Best Bath. They have really nice products as far as showers go. And I have a dealership with Best Bath. Cost me like $250 to get a dealership with Best Bath. But I don't sell enough product to get really like deep discounts. So I'm only getting like 10% off. So my discount through Best Bath is 10%, which isn't much. So what I ended up doing was I got online and I talked, and I found a website called Best Bath Showroom. And I called them, and I just, I told them who I was and what I'm doing, and they do a lot of sales. They sell a lot of Best Bath products, so they get huge. I don't know what their discount is. They get huge discounts on Best Bath stuff, and so when I work with them, so whenever I need to order anything through Best Bath, I order through this Best Bath Showroom, which is a distributor. They're a distributor for Best Bath. They get huge discounts, so I get 40% off on everything I order through them. So that works really well. It's a really sweet deal for me and for them because I help them keep their orders up so they can keep getting these big deep discounts, and then they give me a much bigger discount than I could get on my own for the dealership I had to pay for. But there's lots of different ways. This is a really good way to do things because everybody wins. So that's one thing you can do if you're looking for a distributorship to sell things. The other thing that I do is drop shipping. And it's just flat out, it's drop shipping. It's basically a retail fulfillment method where I don't have to keep anything in stock. When I sell a product, it goes directly to the end user, the third party. It doesn't go to me at all. I never see it. I never handle it unless there's a problem. Then I hear about it. This is a really good way to go. You don't take any risk whatsoever. But the thing is, with drop shipping, you don't make much money off it, especially if it's something that people, if it's something that's a commodity, like the adaptive equipment. It's If they're selling it on Amazon, a lot of times you can't get a good enough deal on the drop shipping to make any money off it. That's one thing I spent a lot of time on this weekend because I'm working with this company out of Grand Rapids and they want me to have products for them. And right now I'm not getting very good deals on faucets and sinks. And so I've been looking into drop shipping. I've spoken with several different companies and they're maybe a few dollars less than Amazon, but you got to pay shipping. So then it's not worth it. So I don't know, I just hired somebody this weekend, to find good drop shippers for me because it's just been a struggle. So that's something you can do too. Now, in order to get these distributorships and the drop shipping, uh, just a second, and the drop shipping, in order to get these, you need a few things. So I'm assuming you guys would like to know how to set these up. So the first thing you need to do is you need to have a business. You need a business with a name, obviously, and a EIN number, which is a federal tax identification number. Like if you're a sole proprietorship, I think you can still get a federal tax ID number, or you can use your social security number. They're going to take you more seriously and be more apt to agree to give you a dealership if you have a EIN or a tax identification number. So if you don't and you're just using your social security number, half the people aren't going to take you seriously and tell you definitely not. And then if you don't have a business name, you're not going to qualify anyway. They'll just look at you as some individual who wants a deal on one or two things. So that's important. Those are really important. The other thing you need is a sales, what's it called? I should know what these are called because I've got one going on right. I've just sent a couple out. Just a second. The other thing you're going to need is there it is. It's the sales tax, Michigan. This is a Michigan one, obviously. Sales and use tax certificate of exemption. What they call this is a resale certificate, and every state's got their own. So this one's the one that I just used on something. I just set up a dealership for something recently, and so this is just something I downloaded off the internet. What you have to do is put in Google, you want a resale certificate for your state. This is obviously for Michigan. So I just fill this out myself. I don't file it with with anybody. I don't file it with IRS at all. But in order for me to get products at dealership prices or distributorships, I give them this certificate. You can do the one-time purchase, um, or the recurring business relationship. I do the blanket certificate usually, and I have the 4 years. That's also a recurring business relationship. You can do either one. I always choose this one. Um, I don't usually write in the vendor's name and address. I just fill this out the way I want it. Um, I let them put that in because I reuse this for lots of different vendors. But for instance, so if I fill this out, I want the blanket certificate. Usually do 4 years from whatever date it is I fill out. I want it on all items purchased, and then I don't do lease. I only do resale or retail. And then the sales tax license number is your federal tax ID number or your EIN number. And then these are different things. Following exemptions do not provide, the purchaser doesn't have to provide a number. So I've got this right here, resale, wholesale. So but basically this is what I have to turn in order to get my distributorship. And again, the way you get it is you Google resale certificate for whatever state you're in. And then with this, they also sell to me without me paying taxes on it. If I turn around and sell this, if I sell this to someone if I sell products to someone in my state at retail, then I have to pay sales tax on it. Since I usually sell to insurance companies or it's usually part of a building project, I don't charge sales tax. It's just included in the cost of the project. So that's a resale certificate. So that's what you're going to need to have a resale certificate if you want to get any distributorships. And then in order to get that, you just Google resale certificate for your state. The other thing they're going to ask you for are trade references. What I used when I first started out, now I've got enough dealerships where I can just put in some of my dealers' names. But when I first started doing this, I used to just write my builders' names. The builders that were working for me, those were my trade references. And I tell them, John, I'm applying for this dealership. I'm putting you down as a reference. He'd say, okay, no problem. And I don't think they consistently contacted them, because I always like to set things up. You can set things up so they're on an account. If you set it up on an account for a company, they run credit checks, they run reference checks. But I like to set things up. I guess this would be on a credit account for the company. And the terms are usually, you got to pay in 30 days, are the terms usually. I like to set things up on a credit card. I like to just keep a credit card on file. If they keep a credit card on file, then they don't bother with references. And I like to travel, so it kicks my frequent flyer miles up. Which, I don't know. Everybody does what they want to do. That's what I like to do. So these are the things that you need in order to do the dealerships and the distributorships. And depending on who you're working with and how interesting the product is, you get different cuts on them. I get maybe 10% on a faucet, but 40 or 50% on flooring or cabinetry or something like that. But what I would recommend if you're going to do dealers or distributorships is find a product that's interesting that you can't just go down to Lowe's and get. Um, a man contacted me not too long ago who he designs kitchen sinks, and his sinks are really interesting, and I really like them. I haven't had time to work with him on it. Maybe I'll work with him on this job I've got going, but he's interested in giving me a good price because he wants to sell. And his products are different than what you find everywhere else. And the other nice thing about his products are he told me, tell me what you want and I will build it for you. And that's what you want because that way you don't have any competition. You got exactly what you want. Um, One thing that I'm doing as well, and I think all of you guys know about this, maybe not, is this is my website, Essential Luxuries. And it's a work in progress. Basically, my value proposition on this website is our handicap accessible universal design products that are beautiful and cool and that you can't find everywhere else, or things that I really like that that work really well and solve problems. And so, and a lot of this is drop shipping. This right here is Pancho Julio. Pancho Julio, you can't just get anywhere. So I got a distributorship for Pancho Julio that I get good discounts on. But some of the other stuff I don't get the best discounts on. Um, One thing that you can do that I did, these are comfort arms. That's how I met Scott Jones, and I was hoping he would come. I don't see him here. Anyway, this is how I met Scott Jones. I found these comfort arms um, on the internet somewhere, and I wanted to sell them on my website, and I wanted to sell them to my clients because I think they're good looking, and I'm always looking for good looking things. Um, and they're good if there's a toilet and there's no walls on either side, or only walls on one side, which is pretty typical with toilets. Um, they're really stable. They hold up to 330 pounds. So, I got a hold of Scott and I set up a dealership with Scott. Scott was importing these. He was the only one in the United States who was importing these. So he and I made a deal and I started selling them. And he gave me a discount on them. So I started selling them. I started making some money. We ended up selling out. Scott said, I got other things going. I don't really want to sell these anymore. But I was still getting orders for them. So I thought, okay, I got to do something. So I ended up contacting the manufacturer and setting and buying them from the manufacturer and having them send them to me, which took a long time. They had to ship. We just actually got our first shipment like 3 days ago. But this was kind of a hassle because it cost a lot of money to import them, and I didn't know anything about importing. I just hired somebody to do the paperwork for me, who turned out to really be worth her weight in gold because the tariff rate I was originally quoted, she said no, that's too much, and I don't know what she did, but she got me a tariff rate which was half of what the other one was. So, it pays to get people in who know what they're doing. And I'm hoping by hiring this drop shipping lady that I just hired, that she'll get me some good deals on drop shipping because I spent the entire weekend trying to find drop shippers that would give me better deals than Amazon would. And it's just, I couldn't find them. But that was for things that are more commodities like, you know, faucets. I like mowing faucets and grab bars and that kind of thing. So anyway, and then what I'd like to do with this website is set it up and I just talked to somebody about this as well, is set it up so that different OTs, and builders are around can say, okay, send their client to the website and the client can buy whatever they want or pick out what they want. And then say, the comfort arms are $195. I'm going to sell them to people for $125, so that way everybody can make some money off them. And that would work, and so that way I sell these, I'll keep bringing them in. Hopefully I can get them for less than what I'm getting them for now, and you can make some money off them. But in order to do this, it's got to be, and this is the catch though, it's got to be interesting and it's got to be unique. Nina asks, how do you find these drop shippers and people to help import? Drop shippers are hard to find. Well, actually, there's a few different ways. Let me see. Oops, not that. Let me see what I got here. You had something up earlier. Shopify is the website that I have my store through, and they've got different forums or experts. Oh, here we go. And guides, maybe that's what it's under. So it tells you different ways to do things. This is what I was going to show you guys. So for drop shipping, if you want to find drop shippers, and it's hard to make decent money with drop shipping. Thank you, Louie. I've done quite a bit of research, and everything I've read on it is it's hard to do. It's hard to make. There's just not much money in drop shipping on things that are commodities, because you can't get enough. You can't get enough money for it. You're better off having unique products, because you only get like between 5% and like 15%. You're lucky if you get 20%. Let's see, finding working with suppliers. So this talks about how to find fake drop shipping wholesalers. Anybody who wants ongoing fees is not a drop shipper that you want to work with. If they sell to the public, um, that's not somebody you want to work with. And if it's per order fees, sometimes they might charge a little fee, but usually it's not much. And then some wholesalers have minimal initial order size, so the lowest amount that you have to purchase on your first order. They do this to filter out, and you guys can read this, the window shoppers that waste their time with small orders or just want to get a deal on whatever it is they want for their home. But this has a really good suggestion. If you're drop shipping and they want you to have a minimum order of $500, you can always do a pre-order of the product of $500 just for the shipping account. So that way you prepay the supplier $500 to build credit with them and then apply that against your drop shipping orders. But I'm not finding the drop shipping to be too lucrative. So this tells how to find the wholesale suppliers. You can contact the manufacturers, and that's usually where I start. Although like Kohler and Moen, they have too many people contacting them, so they don't really have anybody who wants that I've been able to find to talk to me. I'm hoping this drop shipping guru that I just hired will be able to help me with that. So anyway, you can contact the manufacturers, and a lot of times they'll tell you who their wholesale suppliers are. But they don't always, like I said, the wholesale suppliers don't always give you a good deal. You can search using Google. The thing is, it's hard to find. They're hard to find on Google. They don't really advertise. And then you can order from the competition. That's what I do when I need to. Trade shows, and I've done trade shows. I've gone to what is it? The Abilities Expo. I've hooked up with people there that I've become dealers for. And then there's also directories of the directories of the drop shippers, and those are just basically directories where you say I want to sell sinks, and they give you all like Kohler sinks or something like that, and they tell you everybody who's drop shipping Kohler sinks. I actually probably 8 years ago got a dealership or got a membership with Worldwide Brands, and they're a drop shipping directory, but I've been having a horrible time with them just because like I said, the things I want to buy, I can't get good deals on. So I don't know. I'm not real excited about the drop shipping thing for some stuff right now. But the biggest sellers for me on my and actually Wayfair. Oops, I just was starting to set something up with Wayfair and I didn't get a chance to finish it. And see, they're asking for my resale certificate and I didn't finish filling it out yet. But they're a company, I don't know if anybody's heard about them, that does home goods online, and they're really hard to beat money wise, or I mean they're like Amazon hard to beat. So I decided I'm going to see if I can get a dealership with them and see what kind of pricing they'll give me, because they're one of the ones that are hard to beat anyway. Um, Amazon does like Amazon affiliates. You can make up to 5 or 6%. But the way I'd like to set up this website, where'd it go? My website, this website, is so that all of you can order off the website too, and you don't have to go get different dealerships for different things, and you can make some money because it's it's the only way to fly as far as I'm concerned. It's too hard to set all this stuff up. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy. That's why, like Louie, when I asked you, what is it you like? If people see something they want on the website, I'm glad you said that, Margie. If somebody sees something they want on the website, then we can set it up and we can set up the drop shipping. So that way, all you have to do is send whoever it is over. And my thought is for the website, like right now, I was pretty excited we were getting the comfort arms. So, I put this on. Everybody gets $30 off Comfort Arms, and you got to put a discount code of Yeehaw in, um, which made my husband cringe. But you can make up. I kind of feel like it's my business. I can say whatever I want. Um, but that's the one thing. Like with this website, you can have different discount codes. So say Margie, your code would be Margie, and so you could tell your. I want to have it set up so that Margie could say, okay, I just went to this client's home. They need comfort arms, a sink, and this and that. So Margie could go to the website, pick out the different things that she would want to recommend for her client, email that to her client along with the discount code Margie. So then the client would get 10% off whatever they ordered, and Margie would get 20% of, or whatever it is, of the take on whatever they ordered. So that way Margie's making money and the guy who's ordering is feeling good because he's getting a discount too. So that's kind of what I'd like to do with this, because that would also, that way we can all, it's a way that we can promote our businesses and that everybody can make money on this. I feel like it's what we need to do. Plus, it'd be nice if other people found things as well, because it's hard finding stuff. I always find stuff um when I need it. I don't have time to spend a lot of time looking for products, but I really love finding products that I like. Um, and then I put together a few things. Like my mom has Parkinson's, as many of you know, and so these are things that are really good for Parkinson's. The comfort arms, which I'm in love with. I love this, and this has made the world of difference in my mom's life. Um, when you get out of bed, you've got this. Oops, it won't let me point to it. You can hold on while you're in bed to roll yourself over, and then the gate pulls out, so you can use it to stand up. This has saved my mom, and I've gotten it for several other people, and they love it. I can get this. I think I get it for. Again, this is adaptive equipment, though. I think I get this for. I think I get it shipped for 60. So I think I make $35 every time I send one of these. I can't remember. But this is the kind of things I would like us all to be doing. And if somebody else wants to put together collections, put together a collection, and maybe say if you find something that's interesting. Excuse me for a minute. So if you find something that's interesting, we can put it on, then cool, let's do it. This is one of the coolest walkers I've ever seen. Got it for one of my clients. In fact, he gave me some pictures of himself. I mean, you can take it everywhere. He pushes his grandkids around. It's the coolest thing ever. It's awesome, and I got to play with it. I ordered it for him, so I got to play with it. I think I get this for like $600 or $700. I don't remember. Maybe 800. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't remember what the wholesale prices are on these, but it's enough to make it interesting. And this all-terrain walker, this isn't something you see everywhere. Most of the people out there aren't dealing with these. You know, they're just dealing with the basic rolling walkers. And the other interesting thing is I got to know there's a medical supply store in my town called Bands Medical. And I got to know the guy who owns that. And I was in his shop and he's like, well, what do you think about it? And, I was looking around and he had, all different kinds of adaptive equipment. And I told him, I was like, it looks okay, but why can't you get something cool in here? This is just run of the mill. You want it because he wants to go into home modifications and he would just contract with my company to do the home modifications. And I was just, but I told him, you don't have anything cool in here. Why don't you have anything where people walk in and they see it and they fall in love with it? And he said, you want to come in here and set up a display? I will sell anything you bring in. So, there's just, it seems like there's so many opportunities out there. We just don't have time to follow up on them. But since we just got our new shipment of comfort arms, I want to sell out of those as soon as I can so we can get some more. But I thought what I'll do is take in the comfort arms and the all-terrain walker and sell them out of his store. So, but Louis says, so let me make sure I get it. I would sell to my clients items I think they would be interested in, and then they would go to your site, put in my code, and order it to get a discount, and then they would get a disc. Yeah, I would probably kick the prices up, so the all-terrain walker would be a little bit more. So your client gets a discount, they feel good about it, and then you get and then you get a percentage of that as well. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, you could order directly from the website at your cost. That's what I'm thinking. And what I just hired, the problem I'm having is I can't figure out how to make that work other than doing the discount codes. And so I just contacted like 15 different Shopify, because this is the my store is a Shopify store. So I just contacted 15 different Shopify experts because I need them to to figure out how to do this. I can't figure it out. My husband Chris, who many of you've seen or met, he he's done a lot of website design, but this is a different kind of tool. And so I want to start it as soon as possible, but I don't know how to make it work for everybody. So I just put the job out to bid to figure out how to do this. And I got like 15 different people who have applied for the job. So I'm hoping in the next couple weeks we'll have it down. And so um, I'll keep everyone updated because I really think this would be it'd be such an easy way for all of us. Plus, if we're ordering more out of here, then I can get bigger discount, then we can get bigger discounts for our products, which means we all make more money, which is a really nice way to go. But again, like this is, we're back in the Parkinson's. This stuff right here, it's got to be interesting things that you can't just get anywhere. Like the bath lift you can get anywhere. I don't know what my margins are on that. I'm sure it's not very good, but like this Vila Tango chair, um there's one place that has this chair in the United States. It's out of Florida, and I'm completely not happy with them because we ordered this chair. They only keep two in stock. They got it out of the Netherlands. Um, and then so we ordered it from them, and I can't remember what our margins are. It's like $900 or something like that on this chair, I think. Um, so we got a order. We sold one of them. We ordered it from the company out of Florida. We paid them their money, and then it took them 6 weeks to ship it to us, even though they had it in their warehouse. And we kept saying, "Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" And finally, we had to track down the guy in the warehouse who needed to put it on the truck. So, so anyway, but the Vila Tango chair, um, this kind of stuff, this is the stuff we need to sell that we can make money off of, that's interesting and different and unique, and not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to have these. And like this chair, no, we don't have a video. We should have a video on here of the chair. The chair is super cool. Um, this is a break, and I got this chair for originally for a guy I was working with who had a brain injury, and the seat goes up and down. This is a four. The way the bottom here is set up with the four instead of the five, like a typical office chair, you can use your feet to propel it very easily. It's got the brake here, so that way when you want to get up, you put the brake on and you can get up. And it's really a cool chair. In fact, one of these times I'll show you a video of it. It's just, or look it up. It's the coolest chair ever. Um, and I hope I don't know when we can start. I'm really hoping that these web developers won't take too long and they won't be too expensive. That's the hard part. I looked at one of them and he wanted like $4,000 to do what I want done. Um, I'm going with some people out of I actually threw this out internationally because if you work with somebody in a third world country, a lot of times you get really good professional people who will work for less. So I'm hoping for that just because I need I don't want to break the bank on this one, but I think it could be good for all of us. Um, yeah, what I'd like to do is have it set up. Louis says, can we have these products on our websites? And then when someone makes an order, we turn around and order from you. That would be fine. Whatever works. Any way you want to do it, you can just tell them, this is what I want. Um, you can just show them a picture of it and then come and order it off the website. I would just want to set it up so that we all have easy access to it because it's such a hassle to get it all to make it work. And like I said, the more we sell, the better our discounts are. The other thing I've been talking to Carol Sithong, she's got that Home for Life app, and she wants to work with this company in Grand Rapids with me. And I told her what I wanted were my products in that Home for Life design app. And I heard Aaron Murphy say this, and I heard, and then Carolyn Sithong said the same thing. They don't want to recommend products because they don't want people thinking that they've got some loyalty to these products. But my thought is, if it's a really good product, I'm going to have loyalty to it, and I'm going to push people towards products that I know are quality and that will work for them.
Yeah. Can I
That's
share?
part of my expertise. That's part of the value that I bring to the table. And I think that I saw Carolyn's app, and with Carolyn's app, you can say and her products were not that interesting. The ones that I saw, um, let's see, what does she have? She just had, I guess I'll go up to bathroom. See some of the like this stuff. She had a lot of stuff like this. This is actually my favorite shower chair, but she had a lot of stuff like this. It's not that interesting. I think I can get this. I don't know how much I get this one for. I don't know. But anyway, she had a lot of stuff like this, and then she would have like this chair, and then there was a little thing that said Walgreens, and then another little thing that said Amazon, so you could order through her app from Walgreens or Amazon. But she didn't want to say that she was pushing any particular piece of equipment over another or any different supplier over another. Um, I believe, and because I said to them, why don't you work with me? That way you guys get a percentage off everything we sell with your app. And then the OT who's working with the people, they get a percentage off what's on that app too. So if I can get the shower chair for $40, then, you know, Carolyn gets $10, the OT gets $20, and I get $10. That'd be a really good way to go. But they weren't really interested in that. Although I did say to them, you guys should at least have affiliate links. An affiliate link is a link that anybody who clicks on, like if I've got affiliate links on my blog. So if anybody clicks on anything on my blog that has a link on it, I get paid. And they said, oh yeah, there are affiliate links. But yeah, so anyway, one thing that Carolyn and her developer wanted to work with me on was because I told her, if our group is going to be using their Home for Life design app, our OTs want to make money off of the equipment that they sell and they recommend. And so I'm going to be meeting with Carolyn and that company out of Grand Rapids this week. And they said that they could do that for me. Carolyn said she could do that with the Home for Life design app. Because I feel like what a great way to market that app too. OTs can use it to um, to to sell equipment where they make money too. And one thing, so they're making um, an Aim Big app, and so the Aim Big app is going to be for us, so that we can sell things off it and we can all make a profit off what we sell. At least that's what we're talking about right now. Which is why I'm desperately trying to find some good drop shipping deals. Because one thing we need to be recommending are these grab bar suites because they're beautiful and people need them. But I'm just having a hard time finding good prices on it. But like I said, I just hired somebody who hopefully will make the difference for me on that.
I have a
So
question, Karen.
what was that?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
This is Margie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I had my volume down.
Oh, no, I did. I had another app demo for the Home for Life app. I did that again today, and I was asking Steven, who's the guy that does the apps, I was asking him specifically about some of your products because I guess it's conflicting information if they say they don't want to sort of promote certain products, yet they do have a lot of products linked to the app. For example, like the Super Pole and
Yeah.
the Pendabar, they have a lot of things. So I'm a little confused. It seems like they are sort of representing certain products. Stephen was saying, yeah, these are products that Carolyn really likes, and she's used them and she likes them a lot. So
But I
I
don't think
don't
they're
I
making
don't
any
quite
real money off
understand.
them. I think they're just doing affiliate links, which is only like 3% to 5%. And then like the one I saw, like they had the bath transfer bar is what I saw. And then they had different suppliers. You could get it through Amazon or Walgreens. And I don't know if that's what
Right,
they,
right.
because you're right, they do have products on there.
Yeah, and if I wanted to show, in fact, I specifically asked about that bed rail that you said your mother uses, where then it pivots out, because they
Yeah.
don't have anything like that on there. And I know when I work in the hospital, I've had several of my patients order directly from you to get that because I think it's such a great product. And that's not even a picture I could demo to them using the app, but I think it's a wonderful product.
Well, that's one thing, like all of us, anybody who finds something they want on the app, this product's from a company called Stander, and I have a dealership with them, and they're not very well known, which is kind of the beauty of them. They've got a lot of products like this, but that's where, all of us as a group, if we can find cool, interesting things and get it set up, whether you set it up through Essential Luxuries or through yourself and then sell it off the Essential Luxury site or through her app. I mean, we're doing it. we can do it. But we need to find what we need to, what we want to sell.
Yeah.
I don't know if that comes, but I hear what you're saying. They are pushing some, but nothing.
Yeah, and this particular product, yeah, I love it. The fold-out bed safety grabber, I love.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is too with these, if anybody, sees anything that they want to put on the website, um, it's good if you can write about it. That's one thing they say, if you really want to sell well online, you got to use your own voice. And I haven't done a great job with all of it, but this one I did. And I actually did a blog post and a video, which I'm going to post in the next week or so for it. But so anyway, that's what I hope that we can do, because if we're going to make money on this, we need to. Um, I don't know if you can do that. Does everybody see what
I can answer that, yeah, because I saw the question and it came up today when I was having the demo, and they gave me like a trial period, maybe just for a couple of days, where I can play around with it.
oh,
But basically, but you can't play around with the actual app. You can use the portal. You can see how you import information and do it on the computer. But when you're using the actual app, you really have to buy it in order to play with it.
so they
You
won't,
cannot just, I'm sorry.
you can't see can you see the products?
Um, they said you can, and I just was doing it maybe about an hour before we met. They said you can see the products. I really, I didn't really see them. I only saw them when I did the demo with Steven. But he told me that when I did this temporary thing where they gave me a temporary sign and that I would be able to see the products, but I didn't find them. So I have to look more closely, but you really can't see them. Um, it was just what came up when he demoed it with me.
Hmm.
Here in this here, I actually spoke with Stephen, and he took me through a demo of the app. And I think the app was pretty cool, and clearly they have done a lot of work. But I did not see that I would want to invest in it. He showed me, uh, we went through an hour of a demo, and he showed me the products that are already built in. And the cool thing about it is that since I use an iPad and I travel to areas where there's no internet whatsoever, so you can use the app offline, and you have to purchase a subscription for a year, which is $500, which is very reasonable price, and you can use it for unlimited number of clients or reports. They have two options: either the enterprise, where you have to customize it to have your business name, or if you don't, you end up having their name on the top of each report, and there's no trial period. So I inquired regarding the same thing regarding trialing it, but apparently there's not a trial period. And I I have a template that I've created, and I have all those commonly uh, recommended products saved on my iPad, including even things like the wheelchair shower station and all that stuff that I show to the clients. And I feel that what I have is sufficient. It's basically the app, but I don't have the drop list. I have a list that I choose from, and it just works for me. And that's why I did not invest in the app.
That sounds like a really good way to go. Although I gotta say, I love that app from what I've seen of it. What did you think, Margie, when you played with it?
Oh, you broke up a little. What did you say?
What did you? I really like the app from what I've seen of it. What did you think when you played with it?
Well, there was a lot of it of the focus with Stephen was how you rate somebody initially, like how safe they feel in all these different rooms of the house, and then how safe they actually are when they're doing maybe a transfer into a shower, and then they anticipate that you'll go back later and follow up and see after they've made these changes what their new rating is. So they're trying to give making everything make it more scientific and show the impact of your changes and how effective they are. But I was thinking more like the meaty stuff. Like I want to be able to do my recommendations for people, and I wasn't thinking as much of scoring everything. I just kind of wanted to know how I can use the app to just give the written report and you
Yeah,
know I don't know. That's why I really wanted to play with it more, but I just got more of the overview, but I didn't know that it was $500. I thought it was 200, but I don't know that I thought it was about $200, but I thought also it was funny that you don't have your own logo on there and your own name, you have their name on it. Um,
Yes, yes. If you customize it, you have to pay extra, and it was $500 for the customization. The
mm,
generic format maybe might be a little bit less, maybe
mm,
like I would say 400 or so for a year.
mm.
But for sure, if you want to customize it, meaning to use your business name on each report, you'd have to go with the 500
Funny,
dollars.
yeah. I specifically asked him about that, and he didn't even mention that option. But anyway, so I don't know. I do have reservations about it, but I do want to play around with it a bit more. I just haven't
I
had
agree with you. I think they've done a great job, and they have their own perspective on the pre and post assessment, something that was not necessarily too interested in. And I found that if you deviate from the format that they have set forth, you'd have to enter a lot of free text because it's intended for more of the generic kind of assessments.
hmm So what? And then in fact, I put something on the Facebook group. I was wondering what other assessments are out there because I was working with the share, but now that's temporarily on hold for a few months until the new owner, you know, gets more familiar with it and then puts it back out there for us to use. So I didn't know what other options there are.
If you go online and just do a Google search of home safety assessments, you'll end up with many forms that are out there, whether by the American Association of Geriatrics or some by AOTA or some by AARP. AARP has a nice tool actually. I don't know if it's part of the FIT program or not, but you can pick and choose and eventually come up with something that you are comfortable with based on the clientele that you serve. But
Yeah.
yeah, there are quite few online.
Okay. Thank you. I'll check them out. Thank you.
Yep.
well, that's why it would be nice if they would carry some, if they would set it up like this. Although I would like to see you do it where you can sell stuff off the app, because that would pay for itself. But that's just what I want. But I feel like then it won't be such a risk for therapists either. So I don't know. Hopefully we can set it up that way, so that way if we want, people want to use it, then I'm looking forward to trying it out with aging in place. Does anybody else have any more questions or thoughts on this? And again, anybody who finds anything that they find interesting and different, send it my way. Let's set something up. Let's get it on out there.
I think what you shared about the products, Karen, is pretty uh, thorough and generous, and I feel that that's the angle that we all have to look into. But I can see how you have to do quite some legwork before you get the right products and right dealerships set up. I actually had dealerships at one point with companies like Midline, Invacare, and Salmons Preston, uh, and that was even before I did any of the home mods. And they do give you decent discount. I can't remember exactly what percentage, but they they were pretty doable. I mean, there's some paperwork and some negotiation that you have to go through, but they are open to the idea of having small businesses uh, be part of their big companies. Invacare, before they went into, I can't remember exactly the company that acquired it now, they would even uh, help you build a website that's linked to their website. So I think it would be, if I remember correct, maybe 3 years ago I looked into that, would be about $10,000, where you have your own website and online store, and everything would eventually be linked to their big website with thousands of products, and they would set up a drop shipment for you for no extra fee. So, and when you talk about wheelchairs and even some bathroom equipment, Invacare for the longest time was one of the biggest companies nationwide.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, that's really enlightening and helpful for to see what you are doing and how far you've gotten even in the importing angle.
Yeah, it's exciting. But just a little aside, you brought up Fred Salmons. I'm actually going to his house for he's doing a little conference at his house. It's not too far from my house, and I'm he's doing a it's for the Michigan OT Association, and he's doing a presentation on they're doing a presentation on home modifications for pediatric clients. So
Oh wow.
so I'm sending him a set of comfort arms and telling him, these are great. I really like them, and telling him why, and then asking. Then I'm going to send one of my guys over to install it for him.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, just that's just a little aside, just to sell some, because there's going to be a bunch of OTs there. Figure they ought to see this. But you know what I can do is also send everybody a price list. So if for the stuff that I do get good deals on, and then if you're interested, just I mean, it's easy enough to give you a code like Yeehaw. So anything that anybody comes through selling from this code, we know, like, says Mahar, we'll know, okay, this is Mahar. Whoever uses the code gets a 10% discount, and then Mahar gets this amount of money. And, we could do that if people are interested, and it'd be a really simple way to do it. And then, but the thing is, stuff like, some of this stuff, like the bath lift, I think I get it for like $540. That's nothing. And like this light scout, this thing right here, I don't, I think I make like $1 off of. So some of the stuff isn't much, but the grab bars, we're selling them for 195, and then like I can give them to people for 120. So that's really nice. So you can make $75 off every set of grab bars you sell. So that works out really nicely. But we can do stuff like that in this, and if you want, I can just set it up like that for the time being. Okay. I don't have the price list together right now. I'm and like I'm really focused on trying to find drop shippers and set and and we're pounding out this deal with the Grand Rapids people, which is very time consuming. Plus, we're building an addition and a few other jobs, so I'm having trouble finding time to do stuff. But I'll work on the price list and try to get it out as soon as possible. But again, if anybody can find cool things like what you were talking about, Louie, that's a good thing for people who have dogs that can't get up and take care of them. You know, a collar that prevents the door from opening. You know, why don't, if we all find cool stuff and put it on here, that would be awesome. And say, yeah, my pleasure. But so say somebody else found something like the comfort arms. You know, if you find something, then you get 10% off everything that gets sold on here. You know, if you find it and you put it on here, you get a percentage of it no matter who sells it. That's what I was thinking too, because it's a lot of work to find this stuff. Ooh, yeah, Nina or anybody else, like I said, you guys, um, I need to look into the legalities. You might have to send me a resale certificate, which is no big deal. But but yeah, have them buy them. I'll give you the I got to figure this out. I got to figure out what the codes would be. Yeah, email me if you want something on the website and we'll track down, you know, a manufacturer and a dealership. Um and then I'll try to figure something out. This week I'm meeting, it's either this week or next week I'm meeting with Carolyn and the people out of Grand Rapids, and I have to have a whole bunch of stuff together for them. So, but I'll work on this as soon as I get a chance. Yes, yeah. Um, if you want the comfort arms or anything off here right away, just email me and I'll set up one of these accounts and just tell me what you want and I'll figure out for that particular product. I think that would be the easiest way to go. And then we'll just keep taking it from there. I want to get the grab bar. I got to get the grab bar suites up here with the faucets, you know, the matching ones, so that so so that we can sell those. And then there's an issue we're having with, and I'm going to share this with you guys, and I would really like to hear what your thoughts are. Um, the grab bar suites are, you know, good looking grab bars, good looking faucets, you know, toilet paper holders, all that go together. You know, the toilet paper holders that flip up, you know, everything that's accessible and that's easy to use. And it's hard to put these suites together, but I've done a lot of research, so I know these suites, and some of them are Kohler and some of them are Moen. They're really easy to get. I can't get any good deals with drop shipping. So what I would like to do is put them on the website, but not tell people this is a Kohler faucet. Just say this is the suite. Because if I put on exactly what it is, they're going to take all my time and energy, all my expertise, and then they're going to go buy it from Amazon because I can't compete with Amazon. So I want to put them up and not say who the manufacturer is. But I have somebody else who I'm working with who feels, and I understand what he's saying, that, you know, why would anybody buy that from me if they don't know who the manufacturer is? What is anybody else's thought? Um, would you buy something if it was just if it was a whole set and you didn't know who the manufacturer was, or would you only buy it if you did know who the manufacturer was ahead of time? Any thoughts on that?
I think people are driven by need, and if they would read a review and find that others have liked the product, I'm not sure if they're gonna go to see if it's made by a well-known brand name or if it's made in China or somewhere else. They're usually driven by if they need it, how decent the price is, and they'll read a couple of reviews and probably they'll make their decision based on that. That's my thought.
I think that's very well put. I think you're right.
I want to ask you a question, actually, Karen. Going back, I know you spoke a little bit about the installation and the charges and the flooring. That's an area that I feel very inexperienced in because we OTs don't take necessarily business classes in school, and after we graduate, we spend all our CU times and monies invested in the area that we are working on, whether it's stroke rehab or shoulder or wherever, and not necessarily taking a business or budgeting or marketing kind of a class. So when you spoke about the installation and whether you have a big or a small job, let's say that you go and do an assessment and you find that the client needs their bathtub converted into a shower area, and you'd have to install grab bars and maybe some sort of a toilet riser. How do you propose the cost to the client if you are not sure about the final cost? Do you tell them that I'll get back with you, let's say within a couple of weeks, and then go do your legwork and come back? Talk to the architect if you need to, talk to the installer, and then come back, or how does that work?
Well, I bid it out. If I'm going to do a shower remodel, I send, I use Best Bath. So what I'll do is, like we just did one in Muskegon, and I didn't have a builder there, so that I trusted to do it. So I called the plumber and had him go out and asked him, who do you like to work with? Because I needed somebody to frame out the shower, and then I needed him to plumb it. And so, and then I supplied the Best Bath, shower surround and, the Best Bath shower. So then I just had the plumber bid it and the builder built the carpenter bid it. And then I got the price from my Best Bath supplier for what the shower would cost, and then I put it all together and added on my percentage, which on that job was 25%. Sometimes I just double it. Some, especially if it looks like it's going to be a hard job, I'll just double whatever the guys give me for their prices. But I don't usually, if they want a ballpark, I don't usually know. And I hate to guess. And if I'm going to guess, I'm going to guess high. But yeah, I have send my builders out. Go take, I need a price for this. This is, you do your part, and these are the products I'm going to supply. I get the products for the prices for my products. They give me their price. I put it all together, add on mine, and then give it to the homeowner. And thank you for that, Louis. Does it help, Mahar?
I'm sorry, I lost you at the end. There was no audio at the end.
Oh, I just have my builders go bid it, and I figure out the products that I tell them what products I'm going to supply. I get the prices for the products I'm going to supply. The builders give me their bid. I add on whatever percentage I feel is appropriate, and then I give the homeowner the bid.
I see.
And no, I don't charge for giving an estimate because builders somehow set it up where they do estimates for free. But if I can bill through my OT license, then I pay the builder for the estimate. We've split the cost. Like if I'm doing the OT evaluation.
So you would charge as a home assessment if you add to it.
Yeah, well, see, the way I got it set up is I usually work through insurance, so there usually has to be an OT assessment. And sometimes it's another
Okay.
OT doing it, and sometimes it's me. So if I'm doing the home assessment, then I charge the insurance company to be there. I bring my builder with me, and I pay the builder for his bid and his time because I feel like it's only fair. They work really hard. But sometimes my favorite way is to get the OT val where it says an accessible kitchen and a roll under sink or whatever, but there's no design. So then I can use their evaluation to put the design together. So then there's no real conflict of interest.
And if you were to use an architect and you would check with them how much are they going to charge you, so you would add that to the final cost of the project. Is that how
Yeah,
it
usually
works?
you can give them a basic scope of work. Like I had one guy, he gave me a price of $3,000 and I charged like 4 or 5 thousand because I was doing a lot of work on it too. Usually, yeah, they usually can give you a ballpark of how much it'll cost. And then I always add on because I work hard on things too. And so I got to get paid for my time.
So do you draft an agreement between you and the client to assure that you're going to get paid and not end up having a difficult client who would give you a hard time for the money?
Yes. Well, with if you're a contractor, and again, if you have a joint venture agreement with a contractor, uh, the rules, at least in Michigan, are if you have a contract with somebody, and I always have contracts, I always have signed contracts, and like my contract for this addition's really long, um, and it has a lot of stipulations. This is what we're going to do. This is what you can expect. This is how we're going to get paid. And I've got they call them progressive payments, so that we got 50% down. We get, I think it's like 20% when we're done framing or 30% when we're done framing. It's just set up so that we get money all along the way. And I am really, 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 if I don't get paid when I'm supposed to get paid for these progressive payments, because sometimes I don't, we stop work. And that's one thing the builder and I agree on before we start. If we do not get paid by the time we are supposed to get paid, we walk off the job. We stop it all. And that's upsetting to people when you do that. But if and then in Michigan, if you do work and you don't get paid for that, especially if it's a big job, you can put a lien on the person's house, which means you're
Wow.
part owner of the house. And that's one thing the builders get, which is nice.
Hmm.
But I always have
I see.
contracts. I always have paper. It's the only way to go. And so
Yep.
I don't know if anyone's gotten a chance to read what Nina just wrote, but I think you're right. I think it is a trust issue. It's hard to, I mean, and you want to develop trust online because people can go any place so quick. But maybe that's where the OT that's working with the person would make the difference. And Margie, I don't, as far as working, having the comfort arms work with a toilet riser, I don't know if it would depend on what kind of riser. I've got one here. I should see how it would work. Um, the only thing I would think is it would make the arms look shorter, maybe too short for the person, although these can go up like 3 inches total. Um, Although if I really wanted to raise the toilet for somebody and I wanted to use the comfort arms, I would use a toilevator. We've used those
Mhm.
before. They add like 2 to 3 inches underneath, and you put it under the toilet, so that way you can do whatever you want on top of the toilet. And I should put one of those on this site because those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, well, thank you guys for coming. And the comfort arms are here. Everyone in the group gets a deal on them. If there's something else you see on here that you want a deal on, let me know and I'll figure out and I'll look up what my cost is, and then we'll set something up and I can give you a discount code. Um, it's a lot to set up for everybody in the group straight off the bat, so I kind of feel like if anybody, I don't know if they fit with a bidet seat. I don't have any bidet seats here. Maybe I'll have to grab one and see if it fits. It depends. If you could give me the measurements of the bidet seat, I've got a bidet on here. I could let you know, because the internal measurements for the standard width seat comfort arms is 20 inches and the extra wide's 22 inches. And I need to change this because they're now in stock as of a couple days ago. But I don't know. These are great. My husband has a bad back and bad knees, and his back is so bad right now. He has to have these comfort arms to get on and off the toilet. He would kill me for saying that probably, but anyway. But if anybody in particular has something like this they want to sell or send somebody here, let me know and I will set up a coupon code for you, and I will give you the pricing. But for now, it's too much for me to just organize as it is. Just organize for everybody in the group who might want it. So if you get anything in particular, let me know and I will set it up for you. So
Thank you.
yeah, I just feel like this is just something we all should be doing. So it makes me happy to think we're all going to be making money on this stuff. Because I really think it's part of pushing OT where it needs to be as far as leadership in the home mod field. Crazy as that sounds, but yeah. And the name of this website is essenlux.com. It's Essential Luxuries. That was too much to spell, so it's
Mhm.
just essenlux.com. And I'll send everybody I'll send people out a link if anyone wants to look at it. But and I'm also going to try to get this posted in the next couple days online. And I'm glad you found it helpful. This stuff I think is exciting. And that's why I feel like if we're all looking for cool stuff, this is just stuff I found. We are all looking for cool stuff, we're going to find it. My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming, you guys. Have a great week.
Thanks, Karen.
Yeah, take care.